Hello, my fellows. It is it it day it's day 81 now. It's day 81. So let's get back to reading some English. Practice speaking English. Real video. Day 81. Beyond the Cold War and the Madness of Josh Brolin. Josh Brolin. It's day 81. I have been thinking about the modern tendency to be indifferent, to act like a cold, hard wall that refuses to react when the world throws a ball at us. We do this we do this to avoid commitment, especially when it requires the glue, the clue of real emotion. Anyway, I find myself unable to stay detached, detached. I keep holding on to my ball. That sounds so weird. Throwing it repeatedly, hoping the other side feels even a flicker of the wind as it passes. I'm not even sure what I'm trying to explain. Perhaps I'm just struggling to find a beginning for my thoughts. In fact, my thoughts have been consumed by Josh Brolin lately, not in obsessive way, not in that kind of way. My admiration for him began with No Country for Old Men, but I think it's what the Goonies naturally sealed it. I feel a pecu- hmm, I feel a particular, I feel a peculiar kind of empathy for him. By traditional standards, George wasn't exactly uh, a good kid. His life was strange, even crazy. His life, his life was strange, even crazy. A complete contrast to my own. I would not call it a tragedy. That feel like an insult. Madness is the word I choose. He had a wild mother who did not raise him in the way a mother should. Instead, he became her drinking partner before he was even 10 years old, um, or maybe younger. I don't remember specifically. I don't remember it specifically. Instead, he became her drinking partner before he was even 10 years old. In his memoirs from Under the Drug, he writes, he, re- he reads, he read, he writes, I was born to drink. I was born to drink. My mother drank exactly like I did, and I was raised to be a man and drink like the male equivalent of my mother. Equivalent, equivalent, equivalent of my mother. Right? Equivalent, 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 e, e, equivalent, equivalent. Ooh, I was born, I was born to drink. I was born to drink. My mother drank exactly like I did. My mother drank exactly like I did, and I was raised to be a man and drink like the male equivalent of my mother. Curiously enough, curiously enough, in his what draws me to him is his brutal honesty about things other would his brutal honesty about things other would hide. He is not afraid to write about his wrong, his impulsive, or his loneliness. For some reason, I am captivated by his storytelling. Did you know he have been, and did you know he have been writing? Did you know he have been writing memoirs since he was young? He have dozen journals. He had dozens of journals. His book was exactly cut in half because he did not think anyone would want to read 500 pages of his life. I doubt that. I'm not trying to romanticize him. His early drafts were likely filled with repetitive story, but nonetheless, that is what life is. That's why his published memoir feels so fluid, so vivid, and so painfully real. He did not just live; he recorded it, and by recording it, he made sure his madness would just would not just disappear into the past. As I look at my own 81 days of recording, I realize I'm doing the same, sort of. I am anchoring my own madness before it drifts away. Okay. And I surely should fix my the way I read and talk because I emphasize things too much, and it's not good because if if anyone else listen to this, they will feel like oh my God, she keep emphasize everything, and it sounds so exhausting. Hmm. Oh, I can't help. Again. Same. It's day 81. Blah 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 blah. Day. It's day 81. It's day 81. I have been thinking about the act. I have been thinking about the act of responding to the world. We often choose to be cold walls, letting lies balls bounce back without commitment, especially when emotions are involved. But here I am still throwing my ball over and over, hoping someone feels the wind as is the ball passes by. I have grown fond for Josh Brolin, not as a star but as a human who survived a crazy life. In his memoir From Under the Truck, he talked about being raised as his mother's drinking partner before he was even 10. Uh, that part I don't, once again, I don't remember specific. He can be younger than 10, 10 years old, or maybe older, a few more years older. So, get back to the script. In his memoir From Under the Truck, he talked about being raised as his mother's drinking partner before he was even 10. He wrote, I was born to drink. His honesty, his honesty, his honesty about everything, his honesty, honesty, I'm being honestly, honesty, being honest, honesty, his honesty about everything, even the past people usual hide, is what gives me here. Charles had been writing journals since he was young. He had dozens of them. He even cut his 500-page manuscript in half because he thought it was too much. But those years of repetitive, messy drafting are exactly why his writing feels so fluent, alive now. Just like my that's fine, that's word. He has a wild mother who did not raise him in the way a mother should. Instead, he became her drinking partner. He became her drinking partner before he was even 10 years old. In his memoir from another truck, he writes, I was born to drink. I was born to drink. Let me fixing the tone. I was born to drink. I was born to drink. My mother drank exactly like I did, and I was raised to be a man and drink like a male equivalent of my mother. Curiously enough, that drew me to him. Open quote. I was born to drink. I was born to drink. My mother drank exactly like I did, and I was raised to be a man and drink like the male equivalent of my mother. Close quote. Curiously enough, what drew me to him is his brutal honesty about things others would hide. He isn't afraid to write about his rawness, impulsive, or his loneliness. For some reason, I for some reasons I am captivated by his storytelling. Did you know he had been writing memoirs since he was young? Very young. He had dozens of his journals. His book was actually cut in half because he did not think anyone would want to read 500 pages of his life. I'm not trying, and I'm here not trying to romanticize him. I am not trying to romanticize, romanticize him. His early drafts were likely, I guess, filled with repetitive stories, but nonetheless, that is what life is. That's why his publisher's memoir feels so fluid, so vivid, and so real. He did not just live, he recorded it, and by recording it, he made sure his manners would not just disappear into the past. As I look at my own 81 days of recording, I realize I'm doing the same. I'm uncovering my own madness before it drifts away. Before it drifts away. Drift away. It's 13 minutes now. It's 30 minutes now. It's funny that this this 375-day journey of practice speaking English actually not. I like I tell you many times before. I don't think I'm getting good at pronouncing, and especially the fluency and the grammar, especially grammar, because reading script doesn't give me like the look the like the understanding how grammar work. So I probably mostly non-stop mess up with the grammar. uh, it's funny that it's funny that I actually getting better at writing in some way because uh, every time I read script, it's mostly from myself. I'm writing it down, and like I say, I let Gemini, the AI, rewriting them. But and the happy part is I get easier in writing down what I'm thinking about during that moment. And from like 100 words, 200 words, I can now I can easily write down 500 words. Yeah, just thought, random thoughts. And about reading style, well, I don't actually really care about it. Mostly I just write, I just, um, well, here is the thing, I don't try to make it sound beautiful, but yes, I think I clearly care about the rhythm and the, the, the word choice. I like the mm, I like the feeling of the word. I like the feeling word could bring to me. And I should talk about it in other video. I will record. I will talk about that the next day. Right now I'm just trying to say whatever, saying whatever. Hmm. And my head empty again. But still, it's good that I feel much more relaxed now when recording, whenever I need to record a video. And how the hell people could easily talking to a video to a camera that much? I still trying to find out. Okay, let's read the script again. This day, anyone, I have been thinking about the modern tendency to be indifferent, this refusal to react, this refusal to react or commit to anything, especially when it requires emotion as the glue. We often act like cold or wall. We often act like cold, hard walls, letting the world's ball bounce back to the thrower rather than catching them. Anyway, I cannot stop myself from holding on to my ball. Once again, that sounds so freaking weird. Throwing it repeatedly until the opponent feels the wind as it brushes rush past their face. I'm not even sure I'm not even sure what I'm trying to explain. I'm just struggling to find an opening for my writing. Presumably this restlessness is why I wrote so fond for George Rollins. It started with No Country for Old Men, but by the time I saw him in The Goonies, I was officially a fan. I feel special kind of empathy for people like him. By conventional standards, George wasn't a good kid. His life was strange, even crazy, a far cry from my own. I would not call it a strategy. I would not call it a tragedy. That feels like an insult to him. Yeah, I feel like it would be sound like an insult. Crazy is a better word. Is the better word. He was he had a wild he has a wild mother who did not raise him in the traditional scene. In fact, he was her drinking buddy before he was even 10 years old. Once again, I don't sure about that. In his memoir from Under the Stroke, he writes, I was born to drink, I was born to drink, I was born to drink, bird, birthday, birthday, I was born to drink. My mother drank exactly like I did. And I was raised to be a man and drink like the male equivalent of my mother. Reading those lines while observing the man he is today is deeply moving. What I admire most, what I admire most of his brutal honesty about things others are too shy to mention. Like when he wrote about walking to a motel room, pushing two pillows together and calling it an instant vagina. Mind you, it's his storytelling that keep me here. He had been writing journals since he was young, dozens of them. His book was actually cut in half because he did not think anyone would want to read 500 pages of his life. I won't romanticize him, though early drafts were likely, I think, filled with repetitive story, but that's just how life is, right? Perhaps that's why his published memoir feels so fluid, vivid, and authentic. He did not just write a book; he captured the crazy and made it art. Art? Hmm. Yeah, it's art. Well, because it's a life, a human life, and when you could write a life in a book, and people could look into it and see a whole life of a person in front of their eye, very own eye, and experience it in in their mind and of another people life, another person life. It's art, definitely art.